All right, what's up? We back with the LOS channel, Life Over Stress, Live or Starve. We about to get into this video. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of background. This woman right here that y'all looking at, she got caught engaging in sexual activity with her 15-year-old stepson. How she got caught? Because her husband walked in on him after a night shift. He's a lineman, she's a registered nurse. The 15-year-old stepson, came down from up north, and this is in Florida. The 15-year-old stepson came down for the summer break to hang out with dad, and obviously his dad's wife. The dad has two younger children with this registered nurse. She was 35 at the time, and I've been going through the video already, but I'm going to start it because it's just a little bit weird, and it's strange how the husband walks in on him, and now during all the interview process, even after the son goes on record and tells the police what happens after an anonymous tip was called in, the husband is trying to vaguely deny it, not actually give the detectives any type of real information of what he saw or what their conversation was when he walked in on them, and she didn't have no bra on, she didn't have no clothes on, and they were just in the living room. And according to the reports, the living room and the couch is literally right in front of the door that he walked in on them. So he's seen everything, but even though he's not being charged with any type of crime or being investigated, his main concern is, if anything happens to her, we got two young kids and I'm going to be the only one responsible for them, this and that. And just like the detective saying, it's a little bit concerning that you don't want to give an accurate statement because although, it's your stepson, he's 15. But if you guys have two young kids together, which I think one of them is a boy, why wouldn't you want to give an accurate or honest statement about what occurred when you walked in on your 15-year-old basically busting down your wife, 35, a registered nurse? And why does it always have to be, if it's not female school teachers, it's nurses, man. Nurses, either cheating on their husbands, sleeping with any and everybody. Teachers and nurses. I don't understand, but let's start the video. And the video is going to start in the middle of the detective talking to the husband, trying to get him to, say, why wouldn't you give an honest statement? But let's get started.
And that's kind of a tough thing to see. But if you change your mind, you'd like to give me a more complete statement, you're more than welcome to. You have my number, okay?
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yep, and again, I don't want to have ruined your day. Please don't let me have ruined your day. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for the work that you do.
Yes, sir, thank you.
All right, yep, bye-bye.
Now, detectives end up speaking with the father again on December 3rd, 2024, and this time he spoke much more openly. He first described the unsettling events leading up to the night that he came home, recalling how Alexis went from having a negative attitude toward his son to suddenly wanting him around a lot more.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very negative attitude towards him. Basically didn't want him to be here. When we would talk about him coming down, it was, can he be here for a week? Can he be here for 2 weeks? Not 3 weeks or a month, or not for the whole summer, of course. That was off the table. And then, so he was here for, I think, about 3 weeks. He was supposed to go home. She was basically wanting him to stay another week longer, which I thought was very odd. There was a lot of things that I thought that was very odd in that last week. As far as all of a sudden how she flipped a switch to how she viewed him and
I'm sorry to stop it right there, but did you hear what the husband said? Before the 15-year-old stepson, her stepson, because this is his child, her husband's first child, before he even came down, she didn't even want him to be there. She said, hey, can he only stay for a few weeks? Can he be gone after 3 weeks? And literally, after the first couple weeks of him being down there in Florida, she tells the husband, like, well, like, can he stay an extra week? And the reason is, and the reason why that is because earlier on in this video, it had came out that, you know, she was telling the 15-year-old son, just, you know, after they've been hanging around for a minute, staying up late, playing video games, watching movies, using her vape pen, her THC vape pen. And this is while the husband is at work. Since he's a lineman, he works third shift too. But she started making comments to him like, you know, she's horny, she hasn't had sex in, you know, a couple weeks and things like this. This is how it all started. But obviously after she got comfortable with him and, you know, he said that he did become infatuated with her, that when things started to escalate and the vibe started to change, she wanted him to stay. And just like he's saying, like that was a little bit odd, but we go continue.
Uncomfortable feeling in my gut about it. So did other people.
The father described what he says was a shocking scene when he came home, detailing the moment he discovered his own son and wife in a sexual situation.
Sandra, I walk in and I look over to my left and I see her sitting down, her boobs are out, she's naked, and he was standing up, basically in a position where it looked like his waist level was at her head level. So I think she was performing oral sex when I walked in the door.
Were you able to see, like, his...
No, I wasn't. You know, obviously you're not walking in the door, right?
Oh, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
So, and then he immediately, what I think has happened is he pulled up his pants. It kind of looked like he pulled up his pants a little bit, you know, jumped off to the bathroom. I go over to her, and I'm immediately like, obviously I see her breasts are out, and I'm like, what the going on? I'll say that probably 20 different times, like, what the is going on?
So he walks in after a long shift of work, walks into the door, walks through the front door. Said he looks over and see her sitting down, basically naked, breast out, his son, waist level to her face. Every man knows that when you get oral or when you getting that thing done, most times you like to stand up, the woman no shirt on, because you want to be able to grab, you want to be able to feel. 35-year-old registered nurse, 15-year-old stepson. Let's keep going. That's crazy.
She has this stupid expression on her face, just like a bewildered expression on her face. Doesn't say anything the entire time this is going on. She has a blanket over top of her lap. I go over there and I'm basically like, show her the guy she's not naked. And so I walk over to her, still she's not saying anything, bewildered look on her face. I snatch the blanket off of her lap and she was butt-assing. At that point, I'm like, you know, just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I don't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please God, like, tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know everything that happened. And he proceeded to tell me that they had both had oral sex on each other. I felt like he was still hiding stuff. At that point, she's kind of coming back and forth outside the house to talk to me. And, you know, I'm obviously not wanting anything to do with her. And then the one thing that, like, struck me the most when this was all happening was I looked right her up and I said, you and she looked right at me and like said, oh, I forgot you knew that. Was exactly what she said. Then I took him to my dad's house and
Hold on, I need to rewind that because I want to know what did she say? What did she say to him after she said it doesn't look as bad as it? Are you serious? Like, this is the mind frame of these women, whether it's a teacher, registered nurse, or whoever doing this to a minor, but even if they're of age and they do this with a homeboy of yours, or like it's crazy, especially when they get caught. It's the very first thing most women lack is accountability, complete accountability. That's one of the biggest things that all men like, accountability, the lack of accountability from women.
and she looked right at me and like said, oh, I forgot you knew that. Was exactly what she said.
What? I still can't hear that. What did she say?
And then the one thing that like struck me the most when this was all happening was that she tried to come up there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, and I looked right her up and I said, you and she looked right at me and like said, oh, I forgot you knew that. Was exactly what she said.
I still can't hear, but we go rock
I
with
took
it.
him to my dad's house, and that's just been a huge ordeal ever since. Which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that Alexis tried to excuse her actions as just a loss of control. He says he didn't believe her.
She tries to act like she had just, lost control and blacked out or didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, you weren't even drinking, first of all. You were stone cold sober. There's so many details leading up to that night. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Basically her attitude and everything that since this has happened, I'm just like, I'm done with trying to, I don't want to say like protect her, but I'm done with the whole situation. I just want to do it.
Well, and all that should happen, right, is that the truth should come out, and that's what's going to allow everyone to move on. Everyone tells the truth, and then we can move on, right? Whatever that's going to entail, get through that, and then life will continue. Now, did you have further conversations with her about it? Did she admit to anything beyond the oral to you?
No, she did not. I don't believe her at all. Just my gut feeling, like I said again, I think that they had sex. But no, she would never admit that to me.
Did she make any statements to you about why it happened?
Yeah. She said multiple times she's told me how much he looked at me.
Just generally or specifically?
No, what she had told me was that it was kind of dark and that he looked so much like you.
Okay.
Type of thing. I know what she said to the other girls.
Okay, but she never made any comments about his anatomy or anything like that?
No, not to me.
Okay.
Obviously, I had heard what she had told the other girls, had confronted her about that many times, and she basically said, which I already knew, she wasn't doing it in like a braggadocious way, she was doing it in a way that was trying to defend her actions and what she did.
Mm-hmm.
The things he was saying, the size of his blah blah blah, basically like he seemed older and more mature than he was.
So what happened? Well, Alexis Von Yates was originally charged with lewd or lascivious battery, but then prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery by a person in familial custody. That's a first-degree felony carrying up to life in prison. The fallout didn't stop there, though, because in April of 2025, The Florida Department of Health suspended her nursing license. In their words, Miss Yates' decision to engage in sexual activity with a minor child and or her decision to allow a child to engage her in oral and penetrative sex indicates that she lacks the good judgment and moral character necessary to be a registered nurse. Therefore, Miss Yates' continued practice as a nurse presents a risk of immediate, serious danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And then came the official sentencing. So instead of heading to trial on September 16th, 2025, Alexis Von Yates stood in court and agreed to a plea deal. She avoided a life sentence. She pleaded guilty to that lesser charge, lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. And her sentence, 2 years in state prison, 10 years probation, 200 hours of community service with...
Do I even need to say much? This is wild. This is crazy. Now imagine if there was a man, flip it, a 35-year-old man, 15-year-old stepdaughter. Do y'all think he getting 2 years state prison, 10 years probation? And she was a registered nurse. Like, do y'all think that's going to occur? Registered nurses, teachers, stepmoms. What else? What else did they give her? What else happened?
Marion County Solid Waste Litter Control. She has to register as a sex offender. No contact with the victim during her entire sentence. The judge said he signed off on the plea in part to spare the victim from having to testify in open court, writing that forcing him to recount these traumatic details in front of a jury would cause, quote, undue re-traumatization. The victim's mother told the court that Alexis was a coward and an incestuous pedophile. She also said her son's relationship with his father has been destroyed, claiming the two haven't spoken since all this happened. Alexis Von Yates, once a trusted nurse, she is now a convicted sex offender, serving prison time, stripped of her license, her career, and according to her own family members, her integrity. That's all we...
Alright, man, this was, and I only gave y'all a portion of it. I spared y'all the 42 minutes and 47 seconds. I listened to the first portion of it because I thought it was just wild before I wanted to bring y'all in. But again, if you guys have any comments about this video, let me know. Again, this is the LOS channel, the Live Starve Life Over Stress channel. Hey, I'll holler back at y'all.